Alright, welcome to a quick review of the Pictek PC290A, which is a gaming mouse that I got for $5 with Prime, or 7 without. And that is probably going to be out of stock, because it seems like Pictek is flash sailing these, but you can get a really good mouse really cheap so far. So let's get into it. So clicks on the mouse are, I would guess they're around 20 amps. They feel okay with not too much pre or post travel. Not too much pre, a little bit of post travel, nothing too bad though. On par with most more expensive gaming mice that I've reviewed. And the scroll wheel is very inoffensive as well. No real tactility. A bit more sort of grindy than I'd want, but it's okay. Then you have side buttons here. And I have these two, this one is set to triple click out of the box. And this one is set to like a sniper button. And then on the side, these buttons feel just fine. Albeit, it is pretty easy to accidentally hit this button when you're trying to hit this button. Then on the side, it has this volume wheel. Doesn't feel all that good, honestly. It feels really grindy. And when I first got this mouse, I would accidentally hit the volume wheel instead of the side buttons all the time. And I still sometimes do, because it's right next to them and it's really sensitive. Not the greatest thing ever. And it's also not remappable in software, which is really annoying. If they had it to be remappable in software, so you could have like side scrolling, that could be interesting. But yeah, side buttons themselves are okay though, not too much pre or post travel. Pretty good quality side buttons if you ask me. Also the side button positioning, it's stacked like that. And right next to the volume wheel. You could see this in the camera angle, but I didn't mention that, so yeah. And the DPI button on top is also pretty good quality. And yeah, there's also one other feature of this mouse, which is the they call it modular, but there's these little things here. And you can put it in like this, or like that. And personally, I find this one right here to be pretty useless, and I do put it in like that. These are just held in with magnets, so like if you like really press into it, you can probably make it fall off, but like since it's gonna be working against gravity anyway, it's not gonna fall off during use. And yeah, feet, which are inoffensive for certain. Maybe a tad more scratchy than I want, but for like a $10 mouse, I don't really care. And the cable itself, the cable's pretty horrible, but the mouse is also pretty heavy. The mouse is about 103 grams. I assume you could take these out and save at least a couple grams. I wouldn't really suggest doing it because then it makes the mouse feel kind of unbalanced, and also kind of, it feels like part of it's missing. It's not really all that great. I would just suggest keeping these in. So yeah, we can get a bit of extra glide, but if you really want to get rid of the weight, that's your decision to make. And the sensor on this mouse is very good. It is a PMW 3327, which is not a very common sensor on most budget mice. And also, this one actually has low LOD, so it's a very good sensor, very capable sensor. It's not a perfect sensor, but it shouldn't have any major issues. And then you also have a profile button on the bottom that can. Or I think this might be an RGB button. I'm not too sure. It seems like it might just be an RGB button on the bottom one. Not really too sure if I'm going to be honest. And then let's go to software. which is a complete ripoff of the Gloria software. Just for reference, let's go open that. Oh, yeah, I unplugged that mouse. But this is a complete ripoff of the Gloria software. Probably using like the same PCB or control. I don't know how this stuff works. But it's actually a good thing because it actually means there's quite a bit you can do in like the software for the last mouse I was using from Pictek, which didn't. So this is very customizable. I do wish that scroll wheel on the side was customizable though. That'd be really cool, but it's not. And then you can have all this. So it's pulling range whatever you want. I had it set to 500. You can set it up to 1,000. Software is pretty easy to install. I'll have a link to it on the website below. And yeah, so what are my conclusions on this mouse? Well, I guess we can talk a bit more about shape first. So it's kind of hard to explain. I don't really know. It kind of looks like the SteelSeries Prime Wireless, but if someone like glued some more side buttons to that, and then you end up with this. It's an ergonomic mouse. It's pretty big. The button height is really tall, so if you dislike that, you're not gonna. I'm not personally a big fan of that, but that's fine. The shape. It's obviously for larger hands. People with smaller hands probably aren't gonna like this too much. For palm grip, it's kinda works for me, honestly, but I'm not really a big fan of palm grip in any mouse. For claw grip, it works pretty solid for me, and for fingertip, it's not really a great choice for that. So, but overall, I am really impressed by this mouse. It seems like a lot of the issues. I guess the coding does get a little messy, but not too bad. A lot of the issues I had with the wireless mouse I last reviewed from Pictek seem to have been either they were mostly addressed on this mouse, which I gotta call a win. This mouse is actually really good. I would easily suggest this if you just want like a quick budget mouse. Like if you just need something for the under $10 range, then I'd buy this. Once it goes out of stock though, yeah, I'm sorry, but this does look like a pretty solid mouse, and I don't really know why nobody's talking about it. So yeah, bye.